Hello, friends, and happy Friday. How is everyone doing this evening? It's a beautiful day here. Just been great. It's been raining, but I don't care. I'm indoors. It's not cold. Just having a big old time. Today is a very, very big day. Lots of things to recognize today. First off, I see lots of people noticing, and yes, it is International Pipe Smoking Day. So very happy International Pipe Smoking Day to all of you. Although, as my friend Eric said this morning, every day is pipe smoking day. So, let's see who we have gathered thus far. Looks like a good crowd already. My goodness. Gordy, the Corkmeister was in early. Good to see you, Gordy. David G. Always good to see you, David. Angry Cornishman from Country Squire. And Beans Bing. I said I wasn't going to say it 3 times, and I'm not. Possum and Pipe, good to see you. Daniel Leslie. Hello, Daniel. And then we got Piper on the 45. Rush Fan 3. How's it going, Patrick? Gary Edminster. Good to see you, Gary. Pondering with Pepe's Pipes. Father Chris Weber. Great to see you guys. Check it in. And are we caught up? I do not think so, because I know there's the Tavarish. Good to see you, my friend Jimmy. How are you tonight, Jimmy? Alexander's Dokoza. Dokoza's got Firebird and a Radice silk cut billiard. And he's drinking Rosenstadt Dunkel. Sounds good. Woody, how you doing, Woody? Big Dave. Hello, Big Dave. Mushroom Leg. How's it going, Ray? Busy. Siglaman Tony from Rhode Island. Hello, Tony. Algonquin Breyer. Don't think I caught you earlier. Little Louis Lagaza. Hello, Louis. Checking in from Taipei. Night tap at a Duke and Carlo. Very nice. Ronnie Ewing. How's it going, Ronnie? Good to see you. Hardcrackers. Hello. And the Smooth Piper, how you doing, Peter? And Ochoita, good evening to you. Well, I think we are finally caught up. Great to see so many folks here so early. Fantastic. So, I, of course, am enjoying some Haunted Bookshop in the Matches Memorial Friday Savinelli, as is the tradition here on the Friday night live stream. I see Peter is likely suited out with the Friday Savinelli at Haunted Bookshop, so the race is on. Oklahoma Piper, good evening. Orlick Golden Slice at a 673 Roma Lucite. Very nice. James Steidel, hello James. Rich Billick, good evening. So, it is International Pipe Smoking Day. It is also, if I'm not mistaken, today was the first day of spring training play, I think, for baseball. I think that's true. If it's not today, it's very soon, but I think it was today. And, although I've been dragging this out with many different versions of it, today is officially my last day of work. Today's the last day I'm drawing a paycheck from my company. So they oddly have been employing me for doing nothing since December 5th. That was their decision, not mine. I would have been more than happy to continue to work, but they said, nope, we don't want you. So today I am officially retired, and I think it is portentous that it is occurring on the day of International Pipe Smoking Day and the first day of spring training play. So very happy about that. Pipe Philosophy, hello, good to see you tonight. Anybody do anything any different for International Pipe Smoking Day? My goodness, the smoke is rather smoky tonight. Sensei McDiggles, hello. Pipe Philosophy's got Byzantium and a Peterson. Excuse me. That'll be a bit better. Thank you, Tavarish. Thank you much. The stars are aligning indeed, David. I hope. I hope. Ah, you got pulled in by the sales, Father Chris. Thank you, Algonquin Briar. That was copious amounts of thick white smoke, Big Dave. I think it was a little too copious, actually. The problem, Ray, is if I wrote the great American novel, I don't think anybody would read it. Jeffrey, did I miss you? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Welcome, Jeffrey Feinberg. It's so good to see you, as always, my friend. There will be a beverage, Patrick. Yes, thank you for the reminder. Useless coffee. Oh, no. I think that can actually make you sleepy, Piper on the 45. We're having a devil preach. And I feel safe because we are now officially in Lent. Wednesday was Ash Wednesday. Today's the first Friday of Lent. And I'm paying a little bit more attention to all things spiritual, so I feel pretty okay with this beer time. Although that might be the first misstep. One can never be too careful. I think I should be proud of that. Rich, I'm not going to ask. I'm just not going to ask. Too much coffee, is that a thing? My wife was making dinner tonight and she had peeled some cloves of garlic and she looked at me and she said, "Do you think that's too much garlic?" And I said, there can't be too much garlic. Technically, yeah, Gordy, but I'm not doing a full fast right now. It's just a abstention, not fasting. I'm still not going to ask, Rich. Oh, sorry, bad dad. I didn't mean to tempt you. Exactly, Louis. There is no such thing. So I got some exciting shop news. So I think I mentioned last week, I don't remember if I talked about it here or not. I don't know. I don't know what I do half the time. So I've revamped the website for CaneRod Pipes. CaneRodPipes.com is new and improved. And I talked about on Sunday how I set up the new host and that sort of stuff. So that's what I'm thinking of. And there can be too much cheese if you can't tolerate dairy, Mushroom Leg. I'm just saying. So, as of tomorrow, the shop will be open again. And it'll be open with some limited services. So, and I've talked about this before, I'm going to be doing factory pipe tune-ups, light cleaning, and deep cleaning. So those will all be available. The price list and everything will go up tomorrow. And there's a contact form. If you want to get in touch, you can just email me. The email address is there. But also, there's a new feature that I just finished setting up today that I'm pretty excited about, and that is there's a mailing list that you can subscribe to. You have to put your email in, and then you'll get an email where you have to confirm it. It's not going to be spam. It's going to be... So, two things. Maybe once a month a newsletter, maybe, because you know me, you know how often I do blog posts, right? So my newsletters probably won't be much more frequent. But it will be a way that I can update people if I put some pens, tampers, or pipes on the website for sale. So rather than you have to go and check, every day or whatever, to see if something's there, you'll get an email when I add stuff to it. And I'll probably even include some pictures. And what I'm thinking about doing is sending that out first. So if you're on the mailing list and I add new stuff, you'll get like 24 hours in advance, you'll get an email with pictures of what's going to be up there. And you have the opportunity to get it before it goes on the website, I guess. It only costs you an email. It's not, and again, it's not going to be a spam thing. Not selling the addresses or anything. Completely contained within my website. Woody's giving up cilantro for Lent. That would be easy for me because I hate cilantro. Creator of the Boundless Universe, how are you? Wanted bookshop and a Peterson System Standard 302. Nice. Garlic blows you up, Gary. Well, that's not good. Dad, I think you just have beverage cravings tonight, or beverage envy. And the fact is, I'm never going to have 20 things for sale. It's going to be a couple at the most because I'm not a factory, and I'm only doing this when I. Fantastic, Ray. Thank you. I'm doing it when I do it, so there's never going to be 10 pipes on the website. There's never going to be 10 tampers. It's going to be whatever I happen to be able to put together in a week or two and put up there. So it's probably good to have some notification rather than you have to rely on luck to see it. Bob Kraus, it has been a while. Good to see you, Bob. Oh, Louis, that sounds like it might have been a traumatic experience. I would have probably wanted some vodka to sanitize. Sutliff apple in a Walker Briar nail rusticated pot. Well, Patrick, that's an interesting choice. Sutliff apple sounds terrible, but I'm guessing it's not so bad. Sensei's asking, did you kiss her back, Louis? You know what you should have done, Louis? You should have just put her into the full dip. Let the leg go up and everything, yeah. And I did, one of the things I did today was I finished, well, I didn't finish a tamper, but I put the finish on a tamper. And I wanted to show it to you because I finally have, so I've been playing around with this style, you know, with the branches and the brass on the end and the brass on the, you know, the pit. And I think it's kind of nice, but I've been playing with it. And you definitely have to return the gesture, Sensei. Otherwise, it's not peaceful. Is it too bad, Patrick? Well, I only had apple tobacco once, and I swore it off, but it was not subtler. So this is what I've come up with, and the reason I say this is finished will be obvious in a minute, but hopefully you'll be able to see this. This is why I had that other light on. Let me temporarily turn it back on. So hopefully you can see that it's focusing. It's got some grain structure in it. It's another piece of branch wood, so it's got some knots and whatnot. And what I've done here is the pith on this one didn't come out dead center. It actually came out on the side, so it's got a little bit of a like a brass inlay at the top there. But the neat thing about this is the brass tamper end. Now you'll never be able to see this, but because this isn't finished yet, I can show you that this is actually threaded. And it threads into the opening here, which is drilled about 1 inch in. So that's going to be filled with weight, epoxied in place, and then this will be epoxied in place. So you get a nice secure fit there, but you also get that extra weight tamping. So that's the plan. That's the final prototype. I'm pretty happy with it. I've got the steps worked out for making it now. Had some lathe trouble yesterday, but I got that sorted. So there we go. Did Doug pop in? I see somebody saying hello to Doug. Hello, Doug. Thanks, Patrick. And of course, I'll make them out of other woods and stuff like that, and probably make other styles too. You folks got to tell me if you think that these kind are worth making. I mean, I know a lot of people like these. They're certainly a lot easier to make. You know, it's well, it's good. It's always good to see a pop, Doug. Hey, Doug, is you would know, is today the official start of spring training play? Oh, thanks, Rich. Yeah, I don't know. Fishing weight would be, well, I mean, you might be able to do it with split shot or something. Thanks, Peter. But I might make a range of them. I might make, you know, some like that, and then some with just the casing on the end, which would, of course, be less costly. Just to give a range of prices. I might even make. There's my. a little wooden guy. Uh-oh. Oh, there it is. Ignore the fact that this is filthy, but you know these little guys, which I love these. Obviously, I use this quite a bit, but it's yeah, you want to keep it cleaner than this. But yeah, these would be quite inexpensive because they're just wood, but they're really nice. They feel good in your hand. They're easy to carry. Oh, really? It just pictures it. I could have sworn play started on the 20th. Okay. Maybe did they change it? Oh, well, I guess I just have to go with International Pipe Smoking Day and the day I retire as being one and the same, which is still a good portent. Thanks, Jeffrey. I don't know, Alec. I don't know. That's the problem. And I probably won't put them up until I get like 5 or 6 of them made. But the one I just showed off with the threading and all that, I mean, that takes a lot of extra work. So those are going to be more. Anyway, there'll be a range. Groovin' Piper, how you doing, Cody? Good to see you. Happy IPSD indeed. First official day of spring training for Major League Baseball in 2026 is Friday, February 20th, says Little Louie. But I don't know if that's play or are they just arriving today, maybe. Oh, I don't know. You know, even if that's just the day that Google's given out, I'm happy enough. Cardinals' first game tomorrow versus the Nationals. There you go. You can go that route if you want, Louis. Absolutely. Hardwood or bamboo golf tees work just fine. James Steidle says he's tried a new aromatic Carnell and Deal Irish Blessing. Interesting. Give it a try, Rich. You know, I think the challenge for me is to make something like an upholstery brad look right. You know, you don't like the reason I don't like these kind. And it's not that I don't like them; it's just that they're they're very obviously what they are. They're a piece of wood with a casing on the end, and you know that's fine. But if you want something that looks like it's purpose made, then you gotta do more work to it. And I don't know, you know, maybe an upholstery brad will work out perfectly. I don't know. Ah, so there are some games being played today. Yes, in Arizona and Florida. And It's International Aquarium Day. Thank you, Ochoita. It is a beautiful hobby. I am retiring on an auspicious day. Do they still make Virginia cream, Rich? Who made that? I got a feeling that was McBaron. That's kind of you to say, Doug. And I hope so. I mean, it's my whole goal. I'm not trying to make a living, and you'll see when I put up the prices for the. I went back and forth a lot with the prices on the cleaning and stuff, and I've talked to quite a few people about this, and I really had a bit of a conundrum over this because, and I think this winds up being true anytime somebody's trying to set a price for something. But you're not just trying to figure out what's my time worth and all that, but what do I really need to do with the money? I'm perfectly fine. I don't need to pay my bills or anything with it. But also, there's this thing about, I've got friends that are in the same business, and I don't want to underprice things and then hurt them. So it becomes really complicated. Double A Pipe Man, hey, it has been a long time. Great to see you. Just lit up the same pipe. Fantastic. Very good to see you. McBaron Vanilla Cream is still available. Okay, thank you, Doug. Good news for the vanilla cream fans. Okay, Phil, good to see you. Good luck with the cherry wood handoff there. Oh, GLP's makes the Virginia cream. Okay. Oh, possum and pipe. I've got. I mean, honestly, I've got. I'm just looking at the thing now, and it's about 2.5 foot by maybe 1.5 foot size rectangle of blanks that could be made into tampers, and there's all sorts of woods in there. Plus, I just got a big box from my buddy Phil of all different types of woods that may be tampers, maybe pens. I'm going to do pens as well. So, hey Phil, don't hurt yourself carrying that Magnum cherry wood. You haven't seen Phil's Magnum cherry wood; it's a gigantic pipe. Thank you for that, Phil. Much appreciated. Doug, that's kind of in line what I was thinking for the higher end one with the brass fittings and all. Which I think some people will balk at, which is why I want to make some of the lower end, I get lower priced ones as well, so that everybody has a chance. But I don't want to, for example, my friend Larry Blackett sells excellent pewter tampers, and if I price my tampers less than his, then people will buy mine instead of his, and I don't want that to happen. So. Yeah, you don't want to injure yourself, though. Pen and tamper set could be an option, Father Chris, yeah. I don't think I have any black locust in stock, Gary, but it's an interesting wood. That's one of the cool things about doing, well, woodworking in general, is that you can try out these different woods, and maybe you just need to make a panel out of them or something, but then you got all the extra to play with for wood turning and, make little plates or tampers or whatever. So I wouldn't be opposed to picking up a board of black locust at some point. I do occasionally smoke Carter Hall, Jeffrey. Not every day, but on occasion. Honestly, I kind of lost my taste for it. And that was before it switched over to the Dominican Republic version. Honestly, I like the Dominican version more than the original. Because the original, the topping on that started to get to me. Black walnut Scottish walking stick tamper. Woody, I don't know what that would be. What would a Scottish walking stick tamper be? You mean a walking stick that can be used as a tamper, or do you mean a tamper that looks like a walking stick? And if so, I got to figure out what the heck a Scottish walking stick looks like. This is black walnut, by the way, which I'm a little surprised by because I expected it to be a darker wood, but I guess it's called black walnut because of the walnuts themselves, which do have a very dark color when they split open. I do enjoy Prince Albert on occasion, James. It's a fine tobacco. It's again, I'm not really a fan of the toppings. Oh, Peter, I'm down to ash. Looks like you're going to take the crown on International Pipe Smoking Day, buddy. I got nothing left. Oh, it looks like a shillelagh rich. Black Cornish. I don't know what that means. It's a good point, Doug. Yeah. Steve Stazak. How you doing, Steve? Half and half is good as well. My favorite of that category is Sir Walter, just because it's such a pure tobacco flavor. At least it used to be. I understand they changed it. I never had the aromatic, but the plain Sir Walter was I always thought was very good. You win, Peter. You win by a long shot. Oh, Bob, you let your tobacco guy talk you into buying 1Q. I'm so sorry. Oh, the Scottish walking sticks are typically made from blackthorn, says Phil. I think that's what we're getting to. Yes, blackthorn. Okay. Do I still smoke and like Pegasus? Jimmy, I do still smoke it occasionally. It kind of did the same thing to me that Carter Hall did. It something about it, and I don't even know if Pegasus has a topping to be honest, but there's some like odd taste that started to develop in it. So I moved on to well, right now I'm smoking Waybridge in the morning, but for a while it was Bayou morning. Just depends. I usually try to have a bowl of something different in the morning before I start the on a bookshop. Big and Burly, Bayou Night, and Aaron Moore Flake. All good choices, Alec. It is weird how tastes change, Father Chris. Yeah, it is. I mean, I even enjoy the odd lot of Kia these days. Pegasus is the only blend that Ray's fiance smokes. Well, that's good. I see Gary defending 1Q and BCA. I'm glad you like him, Gary. I don't, but that's okay. Oh, James, that doesn't sound right to me. But unless it's the aromatic. So somebody else will have to answer you. But Field and Stream, I believe Field and Stream was an aromatic. So if it's the Sir Walter Arrow, maybe, but I haven't had either. Ray, I don't know quite how to say this, but I'm afraid your fiance is a codger. And I mean that as a compliment. Casey Guthrie, how you doing tonight? Ochoita, my smoking habits have changed with the extra time and not for the better. I was talking to Smooth Piper today and I said, you know, retirement's not doing a lot for me cutting back on a bookshop. I think I'm adding a couple of bowls per day, so I gotta watch that. I have tried Granger, Jimmy, and Granger bites the heck out of me. Uh, I like the flavor, but I just can't handle the tongue bite from it. And I know Smooth Piper loves it. Other people love it. I can't do it. David Jenkins, hello. Good to see you. Well, it definitely tastes different, Bob, and you might love it. There are people that love 1Q and BCA, as Jeffrey pointed out. Um, and there are folks like Scott Aristocob. He smoked nothing but 1Q and loved it. Don't be ashamed of that, Sensi. I mean, everybody smokes different stuff. Smoke what you enjoy. Yeah, Velvet's another one, Casey. I just could never get a feel for Velvet. Some of those old uh, over-the-counter blends, like Velvet, trying to think of another good example. They just there's something. Maybe it's the propylene glycol, but I don't think so because Carter Hall always had that. But there's something about them that just doesn't sit well with me. Watch City Ruggaroo in a GBD Topaz Apple 723 drinking Wicked Grove Hard Cider Blueberry. Gotcha, Ron. Ah, double A pipe man, ain't that the truth? You could say the same for Carter Hall. So it's just started biting you, Peter. That's interesting. I don't know what Scott did. I mean, I know he basically shut down Aristocrat because it was just too much work for him and his wife. At least that's what he said at the time. He's still doing his, I think it's called Growth Rings woodworking channel. And I see him pop up every once in a while. I don't know if he still smokes or not. Yeah, Velvet has an interesting history, though. And I just remembered what it is that puts me off about Velvet. It has almost a honey flavor to it. And again, it's my weird palate. I mean, anytime we talk about aromatics, you got to keep in mind that I'm weird when it comes to aromatics. I just don't the, the flavors just don't work with me. So yeah, that honey thing just I found it kind of off-putting. But again, it's very popular. Right, that sounds like some sort of a half joke or something. Lurker Troy, happy IPSD, buddy. Armchair Piper, hello Ed. Good to see you tonight. Groovin' Piper's off to make etouffee. Better late than never indeed. Hey, have a good one, Cody. Thanks for dropping in. It's always good to see you. I gotta get a second pipe going. And that second pipe is, of course, going to be Jackknife Plug, Tobacco of the Month. C&D cilantro. No, thank you. You might say I'm enjoying this a bit. Jimmy got bit. Yeah. I don't know if Velvet bit me so much as just like I said, that honey just doesn't work for me. Captain Black Gale. The original Haunting is a great movie, Doug. And maybe it was Pipes Ghosted. Maybe Ray misunderstood, yeah. Hey, just because it's lovely doesn't mean it's not haunted, Mushroom Lug. I want to do a poll. Stand by. Can I do this? I hit the wrong button. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We didn't restart. I'm sorry. I forgot when I went off to set up the poll that typing would, yeah. Anyway, somebody let me know if you can see me again. So I wanted to do a poll there. I hope you didn't lose me. I hope you can see me now. What's going on? I'm back. Thank you, Gary. So yeah, I was curious about the ghost thing because Ray brought up haunted houses, and I'm just wondering what the prevalence of ghost belief is. Thanks, Father Chris. That would be hilarious. See you. Now, Doug, it wasn't meant in that way. You just see someone that looks like me. Uh-oh. We'll let that run for a minute or two. I'm very curious. Right now it's looking like 50-50, which is, you know, interesting. It's the tobacco of the month, Rich. It's GLP's jackknife plug. I'm sorry, jackknife ready rub. If I called it jackknife plug before, I'm sorry. I'm so used to calling it that. Appreciate that, Doug. All right, that's been up long enough, so how do I end this? $51 to $49. Pretty good. Pretty much split down the middle. I personally do not believe in ghosts. I do believe in spirits. I believe there are demons. I believe there are angels. But I don't believe there's ghosts because it's pretty well laid out what happens after you die and where you go. And none of those, I don't know of any religion that says you hang out in a house and scare people. So the ghosts have it by one point. Come on. Yeah, but exorcists aren't getting rid of ghosts. They're getting rid of demons. Matthew Geis, hello. You're not sure, so you fit in well with that 50-50 split. Or 51-49 for the ghost crowd. I think we do all go to Cleveland, double A, which is not going to be good. That's why it's not going to be good, right? We're all going to crash at your place. Interesting point, Father Chris. Could that have been because we were still in the old covenant? Yes, Armchair Piper makes it very clear what happens if you don't like his videos. Yeah, I don't know. Particular soul, type of ghost or soul in purgatory. It just doesn't seem like you'd have access to earthly places, but what do I know? Sensei's Meerschaum doesn't believe in ghosts. There you go. David's moved on to 3 nuns and a Dunhill Amber Root 4306 demiwort. Wow, that's a mouthful. Dan Falcone, hello. There's Misty Mountain Piper. That would be a miserable existence, Matthew. So you're saying that's not the case, Father Chris. But then how would you explain the house thing unless there was some kind of a connection between this place and that place? Probably more than we want to get into over a live stream, huh? And of course, there's Casper David, yes. Pipe Jockey, good to see you, my friend. Really, Ray, that's creepy. Oh, fantastic, Dan, the St. Louis show. Hope you enjoyed that. Looks like you did enjoy it. They can only move in straight lines? That I'd love to hear the logic behind that, Sensei. Creator's asking, aren't ghosts simply spirits, whether good or evil? Well, how could you have an evil ghost? It would just be a person. Maybe I should have defined ghost. I mean, by ghost, I mean the soul of a human being that for some reason is sticking around. So I don't think you could have good or evil. Ah, I see what you mean, Father Chris. So similar to how a saint can manifest. Interesting. Okay, that's interesting. VA wants Gary to exercise. It's not at all like Scooby-Doo. Especially when they pull the ghost sheet off and it turns out to be old Mr. Warner. I don't know who Warner is. That's the first name that popped into my head. Got it. Got it. Okay, that makes sense. Oh, I forgot about that ball strike system, challenge system, Louis. That's gonna be a pain. That is gonna be a pain. But hey, at least it's something to watch that's not this 2 weeks of sliding around on cold stuff. Although my wife was very excited earlier, apparently there's been some sort of there's been a couple of cheating scandals in curling, which I think is hilarious. Apparently there was one the other day that was really funny. I did see a video clip of this. I think it was the Canadian team when they were letting go of the rock. The guy kept his finger on it a little bit too long, and it's just so funny because in slow motion it's just this finger coming out, which I didn't know they watched it that closely. But then something happened tonight just as I was getting ready for this, and she was all excited. There was another cheater caught in curling. All right, Phil. Happy customer. Good deal. He should be happy after the work you put into that monster. That's a beautiful giant pipe. Casey, I briefly heard about the scandal with the ski jump, and I decided I did not want to look into finding out whether or not that was real. Yeah, Father Chris, that's what Casey was referring to. I just really don't want to think about it. Yeah, women's hockey won the gold, and men are playing tomorrow, I think, or is it Sunday? One of those days. Oh, I've seen those double barrel pipes. That is cool, Ray. I wonder how much that'll go for. Anybody would be blown away by that, Phil. Beautiful pipe. I would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for those kids and their muddling dog. That's the crazy thing, Father Chris. Yeah. How could something that, well, yeah, at least a grand, yeah. Wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, I almost went too far there, yes. But I have to, so my wife really loves the Winter Olympics. She likes the ice skating stuff. I find it to be terribly boring, and but obviously I'm not going to stop her from watching it. She wants to watch it. That's fine, and I'll sit there while it's on. And I was absolutely blown away by what she told me was called half pipe, and this was a snowboard thing. I couldn't believe with these. I was going to say guys, but these are kids really. Were doing, and it was just and I take nothing away from them in terms of the athleticism. It's amazing what they've been able to do with their bodies, and they're going 3 stories in the air. They're doing flips, they're doing spins, they're coming down, landing back on this half pipe of snow and continuing on. It's amazing to watch. But is it a sport? Is it, and I'm watching it, and like this guy, he gets to the end of his second run. They were doing 3 runs, and I'm watching, and it's like, wow, that's pretty darn cool. And they give him points, and it's like 90 points, and they're like, oh, that's not as many as he needed. I'm like, it's not as many as he needed. How did? And everybody was getting between 90 and 95 points. And it was like they were decimalized too. It was like 95.47 points or something. And I'm thinking, how in the world are they coming up with these numbers? And I'm sure there's a science to it, but I mean, they're just flipping and spinning and stuff. I don't know. And I say, oh, he did 4 turns. I have no idea how they counted 4 turns because it's all happening so quickly. And then there's a guy, it was actually the American, and they were talking about how he really needs a good run because he fell on his first run. And I'm thinking, okay, he fell. So, like, the whole point of this is not to fall. And they show the points that he got for the first run, and he got like 72 points for the first run. Okay, 72 points for the first run. That's for falling down. So, what do you start with 70? How do you get a zero? And last night she had on cross country skiing, which is just, well, actually, it wasn't cross country skiing. It was, but it was part of this thing where this is crazy. This sounds like something I made up, but they have to do a jump, and then depending on how far they jump, that determines when they start the race. So the further you jump, the more of a head start you get in the race. And then they have to race around the track like 5 times or something. And I'm sorry, watching people cross country ski fast is funny. I just think it looks silly. So there you go. That's my Olympic update. Yeah, scoring, but not just scoring, but like scoring because you've done something, you've crossed the line, or you've you know put a ball in something, or it should be a competition where you can actually understand what's happening, not just numbers that pop up. And I kind of remember watching the Olympics way back, probably in the early 80s, if not the 70s. And I think I remember, maybe I'm just imagining this, but I think I remember you actually got to see the judges, and they were all sitting at a long table, and they would actually hold up cards. I know that's kind of a joke now, we hold up the number on the card, but I think that used to happen. And now you don't even see the judges. It's just this mysterious number that pops up. Steve, it's funny you bring that up because I know exactly where I was when that Australian breakdance thing happened. I know where you were too, because it was during the Columbus show. And I actually went out to lunch at a very strange sports bar. It was basically, I did not know this when I went in. I think it was called Twin Peaks. And yes, I should have thought more. But I think it was called Twin Peaks, and it turned out to be like a Scottish version of Hooters. But they had good food, and it was a sports bar, and they had TVs on and very friendly waitresses. And in an attempt to not stare at the very friendly waitresses, I had my eyes glued to the TV, and sure enough, it just happened to be the break dancing from, was it in Paris that they did that? And I got to see that happen live. It was very weird. That's true, David. That poor guy. Yeah, if you did something bad and it got into the wild world of sports intro, you were stuck with that for a long time. They were in plaid skirts, Gary. I bet as close to kilts as you can get. Hey Dan, you have a great evening too. Thanks for stopping in. I'd be happy if cricket came to the Summer Olympics. I would watch that. Olympic suntanning. It's probably coming, Jason. I think we might be lagging a bit behind here. Oh, I never turned the extra. Oh, I did turn the extra light off. Okay. First prize melanoma. Uh, wasn't U Downs the host of what? I don't think U Downs was the host of Wild Water Sports, but I could be wrong about that. The Olympic slow smoke. There you go. Casey and David, I agree. Oh, double A. Everyone gets bronze. That's just bad. We should apply to the Olympic Committee, Steve, and see if we can get the Olympic pipe slow smoke in for next summer, the next summer games. I think we would probably get the fastest rejection in Olympic history. Oh, that's cool, James. That's very cool. Well done, Purdue cricket team. Howard Cosell, that sounds better than U Downs. The drinking Olympics, there you go. Oh, it was Jim McKay. Yes, Geezer Dust, thank you. Jim McKay, well, at least that sounds really right to me now. I don't know, Sensei. I think breakdancing has a lower bar than pipe smoking. How about pipe smokers breakdance? That would be horrible. Four laps, four. Yeah, I would pay to watch that too, Casey. Absolutely. I have to tell one of my favorite quick Norm Macdonald jokes, which was, have you seen this new Olympic event they have where you run 4 miles and then you fish? Him saying it was funny. And I don't know what the Texas Mosey is, but I would imagine it would get rejected pretty quickly. Oh, are you serious, Doug? There has been volatility in the metal market for sure. Yeah, I miss Norm too, Casey and Peter. I, he's one of those people that just shouldn't be gone, and It bothers me when I think about it. I think it'll settle down, Doug. I don't think it's so much a shortage as just market volatility. I mean, prices are probably out of the range. I like the cross-country ski idea, David. I'm not touching that bad, Dad. We got to draw the line somewhere. Yeah, the other thing that bothers me about the Olympics is these these kids, and they are kids. I mean, there was a girl skiing today. Was it today? Today or yesterday? 15 years old. So these are kids. And these kids train hard. You know, they're getting up early in the morning. They're training before they go to school. They're training after school. Um, you know, they maybe do this 2, 3 times before they're aged out and can't do it anymore. And then what do? You know, this is not really setting them up for a future. Unless they're going to go into coaching, but then that's a big pyramid scheme. That was funny, Woody. That was funny, and you can find that on YouTube. Oh, Gary, don't encourage him. That's funny, though. Where did the time go, indeed, Patrick? Indeed. It shot by tonight. All this talk of campers and Olympics. I don't actually think I've seen Norma and Larry King. Big so chapstick. Well, that worked for Susie Chaffee. Well, they might have a brighter future health-wise, Doug, but I just don't know what kind of job they're suited for, and are they academically prepared and all that. I just don't know. I hope I'm wrong about that because you know they put their heart and soul into it and their body into it, and what they do is absolutely remarkable. I get that they can get scholarships and go into the military and all that, Brian. I'm not saying it's the end of their lives, but it's just the amount of time that they put into it. If they would have put that into something else, would they be better off? I guess that's what I'm asking. But I guess you could say that about any athlete, and I don't want to get into that because, you know, I do appreciate people that spend their lives training to play baseball or to play football. So yeah, really, Casey, I don't think it would take you that far. I mean, it would depend. If you were looking for a job as an Olympic coach or something like that, maybe. But if you're trying to get a job in business or finance or science or something, I don't think gold medal in the Olympics is going to matter that much. But maybe I'm wrong. So going back to Norm Macdonald for a minute, if you are a Norm Macdonald fan, um, he wrote an autobiography before he passed away. Now, it is not a real autobiography. It's mostly fictional, but it is hilariously funny. And if you can get the Audible, I don't normally like audiobooks, but he reads the book, and it is just one of the funniest things. And yeah, a lot of it's off color, so I warn you about that. It's not family friendly by any stretch, but him reading it is hilarious. And you kind of get to know him a little bit better through it, although, again, most of it is fictional. Certainly focus and attitude. Yes, Doug, I agree. Well, Patton's a good example, James. I did not know that Patton was an Olympic athlete. Bruce Jenner is not a good example, Woody. I don't know. I mean, yeah, the endorsements are going to take you so far, but how many of them are successful, creator? That's the thing. You're looking at a small percentage of the people that go into it. But I guess it's again like any other sport. I mean, what percentage of kids that think they're going to be NBA superstars actually wind up being NBA superstars? I don't know about that, Doug. I hope you're right about that, but I truly don't know. Sorry, I've got a severely itchy nose for some reason. A new feature here on the live stream, my nose itches. Sump pumps running like crazy. We had rain today, and the snow is melting, and there's just a lot of water. Oh, I think I might be done with this bowl of jackknife ready rub. Yeah, I got it right that time. Was that Patton, James? Patton was in pentathlon. But I would imagine, and maybe this is just my bias, I would imagine at the time that Patton was competing, it was probably much less of an all-consuming Like, I doubt very much his parents were driving him to go to pentathlon practice in the morning, if that's a thing, before classes and stuff. I think it's become more of a, I don't know, it's like everything else, it's become commercialized. Well, I hope company's not coming, David. I don't need that tonight. I would watch that run. I would watch that. Father Chris, Carter Hall is the most bulletproof tobacco. If there's any tobacco that's a poster child for not aging, it's Carter Hall. It does not change. You can leave it sit out in a pile for years and come back to it, it'll be exactly the same. It was at West Point. Okay. All right, Sensei. Great seeing you tonight. Have a fantastic weekend, buddy. That's a good point, Pipe Jockey. It's also going to depend a lot on what country you come from, what country you compete for. Yeah. But you guys gave me something to think about. I mean, maybe I'm underestimating the possibilities here. Twinkies, the pipe tobacco world. Absolutely, Patrick. That was funny, Geezer Dust. And honestly, that's the kind of thing I was thinking about when I was watching cross country skiing the other day. I mean, there are times when they're just running on skis, and to do that, they have to splay the skis out, and it just looks funny. Like people aren't supposed to run like that, unless they're wearing skis, in which case it's probably the best way to run. Well, the jackknife plug is done. Jackknife ready rub is done. Ah, I think we're gonna make it an early night tonight. It's been a long day, but a good day. So I think with that, we will wrap this up. We got the last little bit of beer here. I want to thank you all for joining me tonight. I'm trying not to get my foot tangled up in the cords and pull the computer off the table. I want to thank you all for joining me tonight. It's been a lot of fun. Uh, I go upstairs after every one of these, and my wife says, "What did you talk about?" And I don't know. It's just a blur, but it's a fun one, and I really enjoyed it. So, thank you again. Have a fantastic Friday evening and a great weekend. I'll be back on Sunday with stuff. And look forward to seeing you then. And if nothing else, I'll see you next Friday. Next Friday, I believe, is the last Friday in February, so we'll have another week before we do Tobacco of the Month, but that'll come up soon enough. So with that, my friends, thank you all. Have a great weekend. Night all.